You can tell me just a little bit about how you got started in the sport.
It was the kids. They wanted to do sword fighting. So I became the G up and keep him going person for fencing. In fact, I wasn't sporty at all. I fell foul of the sporty kids at my school. Teased, bullied, I'm skinny as a rake.
Does that mean you had a negative kind of attitude towards sport?
Certainly while I was growing up, yes. We got into music. My parents were actually quite anti-sport for a while. I discovered I could pick up a foil in my hand because that was the first weapon I tried. And I discovered I could land some hit and get some points. Secondly, I discovered the weapons were really light. So I didn't need strength in my arms. There was also the fun of actually feeling good after a strenuous workout. Another one was that I finally found a sport that I could do.
Yeah.
Remember, my background was anti-sport. I was up against kids who there's no ways I could ever compete. It didn't take me very long to discover that fencing with its short bouts meant that I didn't have to worry too much about trying to get stamina up.
And so do you think you're a fitter person these days as a result of fencing?
I discovered when I was going to the fencing club that within an hour I was feeling little more than a blob of jelly on the ground. So I then instituted a short fitness regime. You know, this sort of thing, this sort of thing. So high kicks up the rear end, open the gate.
Yep.
That's my lunges, arms up, out, up, down. It's very intense. Okay, just watch something on YouTube, preferably a high-level international bout in foil or saber. Saber is the fastest. They really move in saber. As I say, it's half a kg. It's pretty flexible. See the tip?
Yes. Okay,
it's a button. So you score points by stabbing. Epee is a thicker blade. There we are. There's the guards.
Yeah.
Okay. The epee's got the bigger guard and a thicker blade. Sort of like a pirate's cutlass, protection over the hand. And look at the end of it. It's curled around, so there's no tip. This one is a slashing weapon. I'm allowed to be able to score hits. If I put my arm up for you, I can actually score hits with the blade.
You describe it with some enthusiasm. And I'm wondering whether part of your enjoyment of fencing is somehow locked up with the history of the sport and its origins.
I'm a big picture person. I like to understand what I'm doing. So not just big picture, but also the necessary details. Seriously, I came last.
Okay.
And then on the last competition, there were 4 in the years and I beat somebody. I then discovered that there was a veterans competition, so age 40 and above. That was much more fun. And I found myself within a year and a half starting to win medals. Oh, it was really great when I got my first one. Just to brag, there's a few here. It's a motivation for myself. I'm not the best fencer. My gross motor skills aren't the best, but nevertheless, you know, I'm good enough to be able to, if other people are having a bad day, then I've got a chance. One of the top guys in New South Wales at the time, he beat me again in a round robin bout. It was 5-1. But my 1 point against him was an absolute classic textbook feint. We literally call it a 1-2. You point the sword in one direction, drop the blade, point in another direction and land the hit. Got him. Okay. Wow. And the expression on his face. I walked home. I still came last that competition, but I walked home feeling like a gold medalist. Happy to put myself on the spectrum with fairly typical social, shall I say, anxiety or equivalent. There's a tendency that if I had my own way, I'd just sit at home and not interact much with people.
So it's widened. It's really widened your social network.
Yeah, it has. And since I've been coaching and starting new clubs in the region, then obviously I've got even wider. My motivation now is a bit more that I'm a coach and I'm happy to teach.
Okay.
In fact, I actually quite enjoy teaching.